Fanta. You know what is not working together right now? Your North Carolina Tar Heels. You know how many assists they had in the first half tonight? Exactly 0.
Yep.
Do you know what Tyler Hansborough, when he comes on After Dark, you know what he says consistently more than anything else? North Carolina wins games when they get assists. They found a way to get it done. They needed to scrape by a Notre Dame team that is 2-14 in the ACC that has a lame duck head coach. But man, I know you buried these guys the other night. Are you still on that train? Are they done?
Oh, the shovel was put away in the shed. My job is done. My work here is done. I am not going to back away from my claim. Oh, North Carolina won a game tonight 63-59 over a 10-18 Notre Dame team. Stop it. You get nothing from me. Absolutely nothing. Go over to the Notre Dame Grotto in South Bend and you pray to Mary that you got out of there with a win tonight. You shot 2 for 23 from three-point land. 2 for 23. Defensively, they allowed Notre Dame, who is not the most athletic team in the country. You all know where I'm going with this. They allowed Notre Dame to get in the lane, drive the lane, and get somewhat easy looks at the bucket. Yet again, I will say it, if this was any other team outside of North Carolina, we wouldn't be talking about them. In fact, we would be looking at a bubble team and say they beat Notre Dame by 4 points. Wow, what a thread-the-needle win for them. No, not at all. They're among the first 8 out in the NCAA tournament conversations and all the bracketologies and whatnot. I will go ahead and say I was wrong if they make the field of 68. I will say I was wrong. I'll tell you when I'm wrong. I'm not somebody who's going to avoid telling you that when I'm wrong. But there's nothing that would suggest tonight that this team has figured something out. A win over Notre Dame, who has a head coach on his way out, does not suggest anything. They scored 19 points in the first half.
Here's the other thing is they still don't have a quad 1 win, right? Unless the numbers change and someone popped up to number 29, I don't have it in front of me. They don't have a quad 1 win. They only have 2 more opportunities to do it. One of those opportunities, Virginia just got 15 piece on the road at BC. Virginia, who struggled with these very same Fighting Irish, who have not looked right in like probably 3 weeks. I just, you don't have the opportunities to get the big wins that you're going to be able to, that you're going to need to get. Right.
And that's Duke, just
if you beat Duke at home, here's the thing. Duke is like, I think they're 39th in the net. If you beat Duke at home again, not a quad 1 win.
That's just it, Rob. We're labeling this as if they beat Virginia and Duke on their home floor, then they're in. I mean, maybe they will be, but let's not just lock them in, folks. This is not Virginia and Duke that you think of here. Duke is solid. They're solid.
Yeah. Here's Virginia's last 4 games.
Oh, Virginia.
These are Virginia's last 4 games. They played Duke at home, and they should have lost if the officials made the call they were supposed to make on Kyle Filipowski getting fouled. They played at Louisville. They won by 3, scored 61 points. They played home against these same Fighting Irish. They won by 2, scored 57 points. They played on the road against a Boston College team that's not going anywhere this season. They scored 48 points and lost by 15. I'm not a believer. I think this says a lot about what the ACC is, and frankly, outside of Miami and NC State, I'm not sure that there's a team that I would say is a real Final Four threat. Now, that said, I like where Duke is. I feel the same way about Duke that I feel about Kentucky, in that they've gotten themselves to the point where I think that they're good enough to win a game or 2 in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. Here's the problem, and then we got to break. A lot of people say, and I get it, folks out there. I know you might look at this take and say, John, you don't make enough sense. You can both say that a league is not very good, because this league is not very good, while also stating that the league could send 2 or 3 teams to the NCAA tournament second weekend. You know why? It's the NCAA tournament. It's the wildest postseason in sports. By the same token, when Big Ten teams don't go on deep runs, and we all say the Big Ten stinks, the Big Ten this, the Big Ten that performance doesn't have a reflection on how many teams a league gets into the NCAA tournament for the depth that they have in the season that they put together.